Blessings to all. Share this YouTube for everyone to see and kick the neck.
6. Theological birth. Sirimattappa Sampatta Sukka Dhamma Samahita Satto Safariza Lok, Deva Dharmati Vuccharti. Also, once upon a time, Thiloguru Buddha, who was in Shakya, resided in Jetavana Mahavihara because of Savat city. He spoke this Jatak for a certain multi-talented monk. One of Kelimbi's sons, who lived in Savat, was ordained in Sasana when his wife died and passed away. Before he was to be buried, he made a temple, a firehouse, and a storehouse to cover himself, and the storehouse was covered with ghee oil etc. Sasu, who was married, used to call girls and boys and cook rice and vegetables according to her taste and eat them. A lot of things like robes are decorated. In the night there is one pull and a struggle in Purana. In the middle of the day, another adana and another blanket are worn. He lives at the corner of the temple. Then, one day, when these monks took off their robes and blankets and wandered about in the courtyard, the multi-talented monks went to the courtyard, saw the robes, and asked whose it was. It is a multi-purpose sewing machine. He said, I will go home. He asked if this robe, this dress, this blanket and this blanket are all yours. When the monk said that, he was given 3 robes by Lord Buddha. When you have become austere in the austerity of the omniscient sage and have thus purified yourself a lot, the monks called you and went to the Buddha. When the Buddha saw him, he said, Who, monks, have you brought these monks unwillingly? At that time, the monks said, Lord, this monk is multifaceted. He said that there are multiple solutions. After hearing this, the Buddha questioned whether it was true that the sage was polytheistic. Lord, that is true. After hearing that, the Buddha said, In what matter are you multi-talented? I have spoken of the virtues of austerity and contentment in many ways, and the virtues of body relaxation, mental relaxation, and Vidarshan meditation. 6. Theology born. 1. He said Weather Ode. That multi-talented monk was wearing KPS 79 after listening to the Buddha's speech. At that time, the sages without any shame, in the midst of each other, they will be exiled to see if the truth is not the same as the 2 deaths. Like the 2 deaths, they have been born in 2 countries for 12 years. He asked if Harry was staying. Hearing this, the monk overcome his fear and shame, put on his robes again, bowed to the Buddha and bowed down. The residual monk invited Sarvajna to explain the meaning. The Lord Buddha declared the fact that he was saved from another existence and said, The other day, a king named Brahmadatta was ruling the people of Varanasi in the Kasi country. At that time, Mahabosatana conceived in the womb of that king's first wife. If the days of giving names to the born princes are called Mahimmasa princes, Tububha. Another son was born to the king when those princes were walking away. Those born princes will be named lunar princes. At the time when those second princes were walking with their tongues jumping out of their mouths, the Bodhi animals' charms were working. The king and the queen were placed in the position of Agamehesutu. That queen is very dear to the king. Mind grows. At that time, that queen also gave birth to a son from the love affair of the 2 of them. Those born princes will be son princes. Beloved with happy hearts to see the sons of the king. He said that you will get a blessing for your sons. Besor, I will take that time whenever I want, and kept it as a later take. When the queen's sons came of age, tell the king, Lord, you have given me a gift on the day my sons were born. Therefore, he said, give the kingdom to my sons. The kings heard that and said, My 2 children are babbling like huge volcanoes. Seeing that the queen was asking for the kingdom for her sons after refusing to give the kingdom to your sons, she called the two sons near to them, thinking that it was a trick for my children. My children, I won a boon for the sun princes on their birth journey, and now their mothers seek the kingdom. I will not give them the kingdom, women are sinners. Therefore, if you think evil, it will be evil. They cried and wept and consoled the lions, saying that you have come and taken over the kingdom. The two of them bowed down to their father Raja Juruvan and saw Surya Kumara, who was in Basnaun Rajandan, and knowing that, he said that he will also go with the two lords. Thus the three princes left and went to the Himalayan forest. The bodhisattvas left the tree and said to the princes, "Flower, prince of the sun." He went to the lake where the fat was visible and said that Napier jumped in and drank and brought water for us too. It was received by a water monster from the king who lived in the lake. The disguised kings will tell you that if anyone, let alone someone who knows God's dharma, dips into this lake, they will be eaten. It was said that no one would be able to eat without going to the lake. From then on, if any liquid chicken dips in that lake, they will discuss God's dharma with them, and if someone does not know, they will eat it. After that, the Surya princes went to that lake and died without checking. At that time, Udakarakshasaya took those princes and asked them if they knew God's dharma. At that time, the princes of the sun said that if Deva Dharma were the two suns and moons. After that, he was buried under the water, saying that he did not know the dharma of God. The Bodhi animals and the sun princes saw the beauty of the moon princes. The water monster caught the Chandra princes and asked them if they knew God's dharma. I know, the Chandra princes said that if God's dharma is 4 lengths. The water monster, saying that he did not know God's dharma, caught him and hid him under the water. There must be some danger because the Bodhi animals did not send that Chandra prince too late, so they both went there and saw the reed footprints in the lake. Seeing the water monster, bodhisattvas do not enter the water, like a man who cuts sticks and walks in the water, he follows the form of his house and says to the bodhisattvas, "Blessed man, you are suffocated by the way, why did you go down to this lake, drink wine, eat lotus and lotus leaves, and wear flowers and go away happily?" Said Weather. Bodhi animals saw him and thought that he must be the devil. Thinking that he had taken my 2 flowers, he said, "Did you take my flowers?" "Yes, I have heard," and asked, "When will I hear a reed in this lake?" When you say, "Whoever knows God's dharma, I will listen to everyone else, except him, you will hear all of us." Yes, the water monster said that God's doctrine is useful. If that is the case, I will say more God's dharma, he said. Tell me if the water monster is like that. He said, I am listening to God's dharma. Bodhisattvas, I speak the divine dharma. There is one power. He said that he was a little shy because of the stigma. Uraka Rikshasaya bathed the Bodhi animals, sprinkled them with wine, put flowers and put perfumes on them and gave them a noble paryakam in the decorated mandapam. Mahabosatana, standing on the head of that resurrected seat, planted the devil's feet, and if that happened, you would listen and ask, said the Deva Dharma. When someone in this world shrinks from fear and shame because he knows bad doctrines and useless worldly customs and lives with fear and shame, those who have always been strong lovers of good dharma, those who have the noble 7 virtues, the news of such beings are the theologies of this world. They preached that it would be named 7 pills of 550. Theology born. 81. The devil said to the bodhisattvas with pleased hearts after hearing this sermon, I am pleased with you. I, who am pleased, will bring a dead man to you. He said that bodhi animals bring young dead and water monsters are pandits. You only know the dharma of Udik Deva and that's all there is to it. It is not because you are not doing Jetapavina karma because you are bringing the younger ones even if there are no elders. Hearing this, Mahabosatana said that power demon, I also know God's dharma. I also exist in God's dharma. We are afraid of these young mortals. For them, their mother asked for the kingdom from the hand of our father, and our father did not give that blessing and told us to hide in the forest because we are safe. The younger mortals who hurt evils do not rely on us and are reduced to this forest. Therefore, if we ate one of those princes in the forest and called them father, no one would believe what we said. Therefore, he said, I will bring the younger dead with a hum of humiliation. After listening to the water monster, he became a sadhu. Sadhu, scholarly, knowing the Dhamma of God, and remaining in the Dhamma of God, with hearts that have been established, they give sadkara to the bodhisattvas, even if they bring the devastation. At that time, the bodhisattvas warned him that the devil was reborn as a devil who ate the flesh and blood of others because of his previous evil deeds. Now again, if it is evil, the evil deeds done by him will not save him from the four hells. Therefore, from now on, he was warned to leave evil deeds and do meritorious deeds, and he was able to control the devil. Mahabosatana took the demon under control and with the protection he had done, he stayed there one day looking at the auspicious stars, knowing the Niya where his father, the king, was working. He was constantly smelling rice and flour lamps. The ointment was prepared as the first offering. That great Bosatana died and went to the next world after ruling the kingdom righteously. Tiloguru Buddha, the sage, delivered this sermon, and at the end of the Chatusatya sermon, the multi-talented monk sat in the Sovan line. The Lord Buddha combined the past and the present story and completed the Dharma Jatak. At the same time, the monster of the morning is now this multipurpose sewing machine. Surya Kumaras are Ananda Sattviras, Chandra Kumaras are Sariputras Thaviras. Mahimmasa Kumaras said that Tiluguru Samyak Sambudhu was the king himself.